Hi, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. I thought we'd demonstrate a calendar spread. This is going from June, so this is imagine a clock. I've done it as a clock, like a calendar. So you've got 12 points here. Obviously it's an oval, it's more like a rugby. And this is going to be house number 1. So this is going to be June, starting June. So I have put the houses therefore in order of, so for June, this calendar spread is going to be based on my birth chart, and I'm playing with this, so I don't know if I've got this exactly right. It's the first time I'm trying this out. I am using the Star Codes Astro deck here to help navigate me through this. Normally I would do this and I've just dropped my cards down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, and then that's how I would go. But I always start at 1 o'clock, so it's not like the houses as in an astrological sense where house number 1 starts over here. So I'm starting here for the next month coming, which is June. And for me, that is going to be my second house because Gemini season has already started and my birthday is in the first decan of Gemini. Therefore, at the point of filming this, I've had it. It was yesterday. So I will end 2025 in May. So I don't do them in the astrological houses per se, I do them in months. So this is going to be June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, so to speak. Now this could be a very complicated way of doing it, so I'm trying it out this way. I'm going to see how we go. Hopefully that makes some sense to what you are all looking at, which is why if you're zooming, the first house is there because my first house is in Gemini, which is going to be where I end my May spread. So starting second house, my second house is Capricorn, therefore, because my first house, although it's Gemini, my rising is in Sagittarius. So I should have explained that as well. So you go by your rising sign. So my rising sign, despite being born in the month of May under the astrological sign of Gemini, my rising or ascendant is in Sagittarius, which makes Sagittarius my first house. And this is, I've put the solar flares card down because we've been having solar flares this year so far in this month. So I just dropped it there because I wasn't sure whether I was going to put it in June or not. I don't know if we still got solar flares, but I know they were happening. So I just put it there. And I might do nothing with that at this point in time. I don't know. So yeah, so I've popped my cards down, and where I've got my north nodes, south node, north node, I've put them in. Now, where I got confused doing this type of birth chart / calendar spread, so here's where I've overcomplicated it, is in my Western astrology kind of birth chart, Aquarius doesn't feature as a house. So I don't have anything in Aquarius. I don't know if that's normal or not. So my first house is Sagittarius, my second house is Capricorn, and then my third house should be Pisces. And it just shifts everything around. And I have the same issue with Scorpio. So I believe Scorpio is my 12th and 11th house. So if I'm missing something else when we come back. I'm missing another star sign. But I do have Libra, I believe, in my chart. I definitely have Virgo. Maybe I'm missing Leo. No, I can't be because I've got Saturn. Anyway, there we go. So here we are. Here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to try it out. But this setup is more for me. I'm not going to go too in depth into what's down here for you. But it's just so you know, we're going to start at 1 o'clock. That's going to be the following month coming in a couple of days. So that's where I'm going to start. So that'll be my card 1, 2, 3, 4, going around like that. So that when I come to write this up, I know that I start at 1 o'clock because I get this round the wrong way every time I do this. When I do it with starting in May Gemini here, I always start writing the wrong month so I'm going June. And I did that in my journal last year, same thing, because I got myself a little bit confused. Where am I going with this? Where's my, I think I've taken out my page markers. July. Here we go. So here, when I started writing my solar return into my book, so I have my overall energy, which is fine. And I started drawing in January. So this is 2024. So it does 2024, January to May. So here's the one that we are currently in. So here's the energy I'm finishing on. and then it goes to June 2023. So really, this should have been where it started. So it should have gone June to December, and then it should have been January and carried on. So I'm just going to try and make it foolproof for me when it comes to writing up in my book this time. I have Marjorie with me, so she is sighing in the background. She's bored already. So let's just drop the cards down. You can see I've got 3 decks out. I always, this is my birthday deck. I swap between this one and the, is it Sacred Maps? But her Maps Oracle from Collect Bound Read. So I swap between them 2 usually. And last year I threw in a 3rd oracle. So this year I'm going to try this one out and see what we get with this one, because I quite like the combinations, but we'll see if this oracle works just as well. I have set the scene. So I have a candle lit, and it actually has some incense, which I made last year from a recipe in the Flickering Cauldron Moon Diary for last year for the flower moon. So I have the flower moon 2023 incense burning here. I have a cup of tea, which is again from the Flickering Cauldron. That's Mystic Delights. So it's like the chocolate flavoured tea. And I have also infused some edible rose petals into that one. And here I have a spray, which is not this one anymore. I've got this a few years ago at a fair. It's made from spring water from this person. But this is actually a blend in there that I made with some moon waters and some various other bits and bobs, but I didn't write the recipe anywhere, so I can't tell you what's in it. I can tell you it smells lovely. So I've sprayed my area. I've shuffled my decks, so we're just got to give them a little shuffle now and throw some cards down. I will be using the books, which is why they're out. So as I said, The Good Tarot by Collect Bound Read, full-size version. We have Sacred Destiny by Denise Lynn, fabulous deck for this sort of thing. And I'm trying out the Oracle of the Rose by Zara de Rose from Etsy. This is a great deck, but I'm going to see how it works with these two. These two, actually 2 of my first decks, along with the Deviant Moon. So I actually probably could have stopped there with the first few decks that I've had in my collection. How weird is that? Because those are some of the strongest ones I come back to. Right, so I always do the tarot first. So we are going to just, this is a big deck. It has had fanning powder on it to make it move for me because it's highly laminated, glossy and sticky. So what I'm looking for is my calendar spread. So I need 12 cards for the year ahead, 2024 to 2025, starting with the month of June. 1 for each month, please. Tell me what I need to know for each month, starting with June, for the next 12 months ahead. So these are just going to give me kind of an overall theme. Oops, there we go. So there's my first one. The first one's out. So we have the Page of Fire. So I'm hoping you can see that. And that's going to go there. So my second house is about resources and achieving under the sign of Capricorn, and then we also have Page of Fire. So I've got Earth. Feels a bit materialistic, really, doesn't it? And of course, Page of Fire for that kind of passion, fire element, right? So, and July, please. Overall arching theme for July. Oops. July's come out with 2 cards in the shuffle. So we have 8 of Air and Transformation. So we know that we need to change something about the thought processes that we're undergoing. Of course, that Transformation is basically fancy for the Death card. So we've got those ones in our communication and collaboration. So we're going to have to change up some of the miscommunication and how we're communicating. August. Oh, again, 2 cards turned in my shuffle. 8 of Fire and 4 of Air. So 8 of Fire, of course, would otherwise be wands. Hopefully you can see those while I'm waving them around because I can't see the screen. And then, of course, the resting. So incoming and that need to take stock and think about what's come in and why. This is with our home, visions and senses. sensitize Pisces. Sensitize. Sorry if you can see my head. I wonder why it says sensitize. Anyway, so that one goes there. We have Neptune in Pisces for me in my birth chart. Next, I'm looking at September 2023, please. We have 3 of air going down here. My 5th house is about passion. My North Node sits in my 5th house for future. So we have Aries in my 5th house. So therefore we have Mars for motion and Venus for beloved. And my Imam Collier root is there as well. So that's my father. I don't know what you call that. Father node? Haven? I'm not sure. Okay. For 6 months. Thank you. October. So for October, we have the King of Earth. That's interesting. Given the month of October is generally quite a magical, high energy, high octane time for me. So September. Oh, sorry, November. Three dropped out my lap. I don't normally like to have one. So I think I was trying to find, I had Chiron in my chart and I don't know where it belongs, but I think it was here. So I wasn't sure. So I just dropped it here just in case to see if that's where it belongs. But so my 7th house is Gemini, which is my sun card. We have Jupiter sits in Gemini for abundance, and my descending is invitations, whereas my ascending is entrance. So here we have Fool, Ace of Air, and Ace of Fire. How interesting. So all new beginnings in pursuit of knowledge, or maybe passion, or maybe passion sparks pursuit of knowledge and takes you out on a new journey. But they've come out this way around for the second, so I take these as they come out. I don't normally play with the layout when I'm doing this spread. Sometimes you feel like they need to be the other way around. Okay, take a look at December. So for December for me, it's Cancer in my 8th house. If I'm doing this right, as I say, I'm trying this out, so we'll see. It's the first time I've really bothered with this. So we have the 9 of Earth in my 8th house of mystery and immerse. So Cancer normally on a standard wheel would be the 4th house, which would be home. So 9 of Earth might make more sense there, but we will see what that brings out with the oracle cards. So let's take a look at January. January, we have Queen of Fire in the 9th house of exploration with Leo for shine, and Saturn sits in my 9th house for structure. Queen of Fire and structure. She doesn't really go with structure though, does she? February, please. This is Virgo, where my moon sits in the 10th house. We have Messenger of Fire. So a lot of court cards then so far. We have Authority, Digesting and Perception. March in my 11th house of Libra. Sorry, I said they're big. It's that one. I was going to flip. We have the moon in my 11th house for community, balance, rebirth, pinnacle, past, and review. Pinnacle, past, and review with the moon. South Node. Okay. What's in April then? What's in my 12th house for April? Again, this one. Seven of Earth. Introspection, investigating, and change. And finally, what's in for May? Oh, one card. Four of Water. There we go. Right, and then what I like to know is overall energy, please, for the next 12 months. Overall energy for the next 12 months. Oops, that can only be one card, so what I'll do is put it on the bottom of the deck and then place my deck down. So that's one. So I've got Chiron. I don't know where to put Chiron. I just know that it's supposed to be there somewhere. So let's take a look at these 12 cards for the next 12 months. Starting with June, Page of Fire. June and Page of Fire. June and Page of Fire has love. It's very similar colours. Firstly, July, Eight of Air. Purification. Eight of Fire, Four of Air. August. We have Freedom. September, Three of Air. Blessings. October, King of Fire, please. October, King of Fire. It's the ones that get stuck in my hand. So, Patience. Sorry, King of Earth, that's a fire, didn't I? What did we say these were? Fool and the Aces. So for November's Fool and Aces, what do we need to know for November? Pleasure. October, December, Nine of Earth. Going backwards. Nine of Earth, December, please. Trust. She's blindfolded. Oops. January. One flew straight out onto the floor. Voyage for January. And another one's flipped out, so I'm going to take that one for February. Protection. March, the moon, please. March, the moon. We have Miracles. April's Seven of Earth, please. Going forwards. Two came out, I'm putting that away because it doesn't feel like it was meant to have come out. It was just stuck to the back of it. So I'm taking the one that felt like it should have come out. And then for May, Four of Water. What do I need to know for May, Four of Water, 2025, please? That one. Diligence. Four of Water and Diligence. And then overall so it's this one. For the year is Security. There we go. onto the Oracle of the Rose. This will be quick. I just want one card to go onto each pile, please. 12 cards, starting with our love. Oops. 2 down, 3 down. I want 1. No, I want all of them. So I'm just going to do this by feel. First one is Lighthouse. This one feels like it's buzzing. So this is going to go down for purification. And we have Knowledge. This is next. Goes on top of Freedom. This is Innocence. And then we have Tower for Blessings. Oh, can I put them back? One for Patience, please. Release. One for Pleasure, please. Epiphany. One for Trust, please. Straight over there. Rabbit Hole. One for Voyage, please. Trickery. One for Protection. Faith. 2 flipped upside down, so I'm going to take these 2 over here. So this one feels like it goes here. This one feels like it goes here. I need a final one then for Diligence. Card for Diligence. Balancing Act. That's a good card for Diligence, I'd say. And what is the overall? What are you telling me about my overall 2 of Fire security? Set in stone. Oh, that's curious. Sorry, just check I am actually recording because I thought that would be about right. That is curious. So we have this, my overall energy for the next 12 months, so June to May. We have 2 of Fire, and we can see we have a giraffe, and we have light, guiding light, and we're kind of secure because we're safe, we're up high, we're not on the floor, we're up high, and we're following the guiding light and we're going forwards. So we're making kind of those decisions about direction here. Here we have security, and we have this picture kind of engraved into what I'd call the cave size, like cave drawings there. And we have the fire lit, and we have obviously the light of the sky and the cosmos above us, constellations and things guiding us up here. But this image reminds me here of this image, and then here we're talking about being set in stone, so the image is set in stone. So that's really curious, and I haven't decided what that means to me yet. This maybe we'll just should we dive into the guidebook now while I've got you here? So we start with the good tarot, 2 of Fire. So there's not a lot of write-up in these, which is perfect. So creative planning for the future, mapping progress, trusting in the unknown, spirit-inspired ambition. So trusting in the unknown is what's kind of feeling out for me there. And of course, mapping progress, but set in stone. So are we setting concrete plans? Plans are being laid down that are no longer changeable. Whenever I can't see how my dreams will coalesce into form, I can trust in the process of co-creation and engage more deeply in the process of envisioning something new. I have already started to make progress, and soon my passion will attract the perfect situation for me. The light of spirit helps me to see my way and feel the universe aligning to bring me what I need. So that's our 2 of Fire. Security, so it's alphabetical. A bit more in these books. So let's go. Firelit Cave. In ancient times, our forebears took refuge in caves. It was there that they could seek shelter from the weather and be protected from predators and enemies. The cave offered a safe place to prepare food, sleep, heal, and build and community. Caves were also places where sacred spiritual ceremonies occurred, evidenced by cave drawings and altars, which have been built along the ledges. Symbolically, caves often represent a secret pathway to the underworld, the divine womb of Mother Earth, and the Sacred Heart. Also, caves can be energy portals for shamans or other spiritual explorers. The landscape wants you to know you are safe and protected no matter what is occurring in your life. You are in safe hands. Those in the realm of spirit are watching over you. You can relax and let go once you've taken measures to protect yourself and those you love, such as making sure everyone has their seatbelt on in the car, making sure your insurance is paid on time, or replacing the filter on your heating unit. Then let go. If you have been hypervigilant lately, take a break, relax, know that all is well. You can turn it all over to the Creator. Set in stone, which is, by the way, card 33. Numerology gives us a 6, which gives us kind of being guided, led down pathways. Guided. I've just realised there's a clock there as well, isn't it? We are always guided by time. We have wings. We also have a bird there, an animal spirit. We have butterfly floating around. We've got some more birds at the top here. They're just beautiful cards. But this one doesn't come with the books. This is just intuitive. What do you think? What are you getting? So I use kind of a combination of numerology and intuition hits on what I'm reading and how it feeds into this. It's not as easy as the deck I used last year, I'll say that, but it does seem to fit. So that kind of combination of trusting in the process and letting go is sort of re-replicated here with the once everyone's safe, things are paid, things are sorted. Forget about it, let it go. You don't need to keep it, at the forefront of your mind because it's exhausting your mind for no reason. And then we have set in stone. So I guess that also feels like it does have that feeling, doesn't it, of setting the process in stone. So if it is something that you need to do for protection, to protect your assets or mundane muggle stuff, it is kind of being set in stone because you haven't set them rules. They've been set for you and you have to abide by them to live. So you have to abide by the rules in order to move forwards. So by abiding by the rules that are sort of set in stone, making sure everything's ticked, tick box exercise done, then you can just relax and go with the flow and go with the process and see what else comes out for you. And things that are set in stone, when you're doing your tick box exercises, maybe you are having to map the progress that's going on there. So, did you pay the TV license? Is your mortgage sorted? Is it due for renewal? Have you got the XYZ paperwork for the renewal? And I'm floundering. Council tax paid on time, those sorts of things. Maybe is the feeling there. Okay, I need to go and get a piece of paper to write this down. 1 second. Right, okay. I'm back. I have a notepad and pen and I've started scribbling. So here's how this works for me. I list the decks that I'm using. Here's my dates that we're going for, my overall energy. So the 3 cards for my overall energy and the rough ideas of what I'm thinking. And then second house, or basically position 1, second house. So I have my one. So I've written what the second house is for me. So it's resources, it's Capricorn, which is achieve. So I have the page of fire, love, and lighthouse. And there's my notes. So for my page of fire, adventurous, acting on new ideas, passions. Then I have the card of love, wild roses, which are a symbol of protection, but they also grow freely, abundantly, and without boundaries. Or they do create the boundaries. So a double kind of way of growing. And I'll just put here, love is all around you. And then 54, the lighthouse, beacon of light. So I'm thinking illumination, sparks, romance, and then I bring back to the word love, which is here. So it feels like maybe the month of June is going to be more about Perhaps it's just going to be more about relationships and spending time with loved ones around me, or maybe even my partner. Maybe it's time for us to have a little bit of time together, downtime together, without so many other distractions and things going on as we've had of the last 8 months or so. So I will do this now for each of the sets that we go through. And what I like to do now is I like to pile up the cards. So I'll show you what I do. And then this allows me to work through these, because this isn't something that I will do all in one sitting. So I will just simply take them, and pile up exactly as I said I would. So this helps me to focus on the cards in hand, and because I've got so many this year, again, it will just make it easier for me to see what I'm looking at. And I like to try and keep them in conjunction with what we've got here, so I can see what's going on. I have a very big, thick pile of cards. We can move these ones back. So those are just the ones for me to be mindful of. And then what I like to do normally, I've already written this one out, so we know that it looks like this. So I've got an overarching view of June 2024 and the overall theme maybe for what's going on. So if I don't feel like I'm understanding this particularly well, or the guidebooks aren't quite getting me where I need to go, I can then see how does this relate to the overarching theme of the spread. So this is a bit like your base of your deck, but obviously I've selected the overarching theme of the reading. So here they are, and here's the month of June, and here's how I'm working on it. So that hasn't changed my way of thinking about it. I still see it the same way. So that is my first set. And then what I can do is I can start putting these away, basically. Chiron, I've kind of removed for the moment. I don't know what to do with Chiron. So, and out of interest, let's just read the guidebook that comes with this for Chiron. 28. So these are numerical, thank goodness. So Chiron is effectively an asteroid. It is the card for heal. We've got here. So Chiron, often referred to as the wounded healer archetype, named after a mythological wise centaur who trained heroes and was accidentally wounded by Hercules with a poisoned arrow. Though he would not completely heal his own pain, he learned so much about medicine that he started a healing temple. This asteroid points to where your own painful experiences give you training and how you can use that understanding to help others. So the asteroid Chiron is a 50-year orbit between the traditional visible planets and the more metaphysical transformative realm, symbolized by the outer planets. So it's due to come back into rotation soon, I guess. Action. Find purpose in your problems. Hard-earned wisdom. That might be why I don't find shadow work quite such a chore, but understand the understanding of knowing why I react to things the way I do, even though it's taken me years to get there. So that might explain that. Does that make sense to you guys? Kind of in my head, that makes sense. It makes perfect sense in my head. Lots of things do in my head. The situation may feel familiar, but if you can't remember a story to go with it, it may be left out from a past life. Okay, so that's interesting. So we've got some past life stuff in there as well. Challenge. The situation can set off touchy memories or poke you where it still hurts. Shrapnel can hurt as much coming out as it did going in. Take the opportunity to heal so those old places can transform. The gift. Allow the pain and troubles of the past to become the wisdom and the compassion of the present moment. Yeah. So Chiron makes very good sense in my head. Hopefully he makes good sense to the rest of you as well after my shocking explanation. So I can put that one away. There we go. I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to do here. Tidy up as I go. You probably didn't need to come along for the ride to watch all of that, did you? Sorry. So we have third house. I've put Aquarius in my third house, even though I know it's not really there. That should be Pisces, but I wasn't sure what to do with that. I mean, let me know in comments what you would do with that. Would you take it out? Because it's my first year including this in my calendar spread, so I've never really done it before. Yeah, so that was the question. Do I put Pisces back there? But then I have to move Pisces again to this one. So if it's Pisces, instead of collaborating, we are on sensitize with our communication. Maybe I'll just leave it there. Okay, so we did go through this a little bit. Let's just see. As I said, I do like to use guidebooks, so let's check in now. Transformation. I can't recall anything magic about transformation from the years gone by, but that one comes out a lot actually. I think it's come out every single year. So it's a card of change. Nothing remains the same. I need to accept that life evolves through cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Now is a time of transition as things are changing from one form to another. I need to allow this to happen for the highest good. I am called to let go the old so I can welcome the new. And then we've got the Eight of Air. They didn't come out that way, did they? They came out that way. Eight of Air. There we go. So for Eight of Air, we have release from denial, seeing things as they are, clarity. With Spirit at my side encouraging me, I open my eyes to see things as they really are. To be disillusioned is to be free. To be disillusioned is to free myself from illusions that keep me from the growth and healing I deserve. So I bid goodbye to illusions that have clouded my vision. Honesty gives me strength and courage to face whatever I have to face. So yeah, that did make sense when I pulled them out originally, with the changing the perception or the way I'm perceiving things, the way I see things, the way I react to things, the way I'm hearing things, and changing how that goes for me with regards to communication, and equally maybe the language that I use to communicate to others throughout that month. So we have purification. So this is Summer Rain card. It's such a beautiful card. So traditionally rain symbolises rebirth, so perfect. Washing away one's sins. Water is also associated with emotions, and summer rain can represent the release of old, long-held emotions that allows for purification and inner healing. There is also a renewal aspect of the rain. The old saying, April showers brings May flowers, means that this follows the rain as a time of renewal and blossoming. The landscape wants you to know, difficult for new, vibrant energy to enter your life. It is clogged with old and outdated energy. Cleanse and purify your body, your physical space. This is a great time for detox, declutter, clearing, cleansing, space clearing, release outdated energy to invite fresh. Funny, actually, I had an itch today, and I think there was another one last week, to just get a box and start throwing stuff away in a box. So I'm feeling the need for declutter. So it's really curious. That's coming out now for the month that I'm moving into in 6 days' time. Great time for detox, declutter. What else do I say? Don't take things personally. Release resentment, guilt, and blame. Purify yourself, your thoughts, your words, and deeds. Decluttering is a modern day alchemy. If you don't love it or use it, let it go. This card can also represent abundance, as flowing water is a metaphor for prosperity, and summer is the time of expansion. And then we have knowledge. So in many ways, learning to get rid of this stuff, learning to declutter mind, body, soul, house, home, surroundings, makes you stronger in the lessons that you take through from your knowledge and learning. And it's not always what you know, it's what's being shared. So the wisdom of these books are sharing this information with me to give me this knowledge. Would have had it beforehand, before looking at this, I wouldn't have had this knowledge. So this knowledge is coming through learning and sharing, and teaching me how to be a better person and how to grow. And then that gives me lessons, which I will then teach to others, I suppose, in many ways, many aspects of this reading. I still haven't really decided which one makes a difference here. I don't think it makes a lot of difference. So, I'll probably write them both onto my notepad for this one. Okay, so I've jotted down my stuff on my notepad. As you can see, I have now put the months. I know we're into June, now we're doing July. So I have put my third house, communication, and then in brackets Aquarius for collaboration, because that's what I put down. And then over here I put Pisces for sensitivities. Now when I was looking that up in the book, I have taken out of the book empathize, not burden, because it talked about Pisces being sensitive souls and empaths. And therefore, sometimes absorbing too much of other people's emotions and weight. So learning to empathize without burdening yourself, your soul, and knowing that that's not yours, to drop it. 8, which kind of does match in then onto 8 of air. So we've got release, clarity, seeing clearly, dropping the illusions from what you think you're seeing. So let's stop rose tinting it. Let's take the rose tinted glasses off. Let's see it for what it actually is, and let's get rid of it. The transformation or change card. Here I've put in brackets my nan, because she's currently very unwell. I'm having a great year so far. So I don't know if that is a specific warning to me that July will be her month, or if she'll be sooner than that. So I'm unsure. I've just put that there because she is hot on my forethoughts and list. And then I put here a fire ceremony, letting go of burdens, taking me back to that burden-esque element here, dropping the illusions, burdens of illusions. So they are playing into that Pisces role, as opposed to the collaboration for communication. Then we've got the purification oracle card. So cleanse, release, declutter, thought, words, deeds. So those are the words that I've taken out of the book. And then I've just put here a physical declutter. Then I have the 34, the knowledge card, which I talked about. So I've put life lessons, being knowledge to allow to be taught to others from the things taught to me, bringing me to this point. And then I put the word cycles. So there's my keywords. So you can see now there's a pattern forming. I've got 2 keywords. I've got love for the keyword for June. Cycles is the keyword for July. And again, that takes me back to, I'm wondering about this Pisces, burdens, empath, transformation and release, cycles, cyclical energy and the cleansing. So I will do this now for each set of cards, and I don't know that you want to come along with me, so maybe what I'll do is I will revisit this spread and just go through everything that I've written down, perhaps in the coming weeks after because this takes me usually takes me about 3 weeks to get it into a journal of some description. So this it's about a 4-hour process. So I certainly can't video a 4-hour process while I'm doing this, but I hope this gives you something to work with for playing, layering and creating your own calendar spreads. Now, I don't go by this verbatim. As you see, these are quite broad strokes I write my monthlies against. And then each month in my journal, I will take this information and just drop it into my front page of my journal as a reflection. And then last year I started using keywords that I was creating while I was doing this. That was the point to making 3 card spreads with 3 different decks, was to get my keywords. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit and continue contemplating this over the next however many it takes me to do, and then from there transfer it into my diary journal. Can't speak now, it's been so long, my brain, this is why it takes so long. But if you let me know in comments whether you want me to then show you again, like I'm doing here, lay out each month and then talk about what I've written down, then let me know in comments and I'll do that. I mean, maybe I'll plan to do it anyway, perhaps, but it's not going to be immediate. It won't be my next video. It will be a few videos away, just to give you all something perhaps to use, contrast and compare. And I am very open, people. If anyone knows about this house planet placement thing that I have attempted to do this year, then please let me know. And I forgot to say at the very start of the video, sorry, this one's turned into a bit of a rambles and a bit of a long one as I turn away from the screen. What I realised is I have been talking about my birth chart completely incorrectly. Just got to see if I can find it. A second. It's a long way down. Where am I? Excuse me a minute while I'm searching. Took so many screenshots of things trying to explain birth charts to me that I've got to find my own actual birth chart. So what I was doing is I took a picture of my birth chart. This is a picture, you can see it's in a plastic cover. So this is my birth chart. I didn't pay full attention to this, and I was looking at this one here and the fact that we've got Aries. So I've been treating my birth chart as here's my first house in Aries. So I've been going around this way around my chart. I stopped paying attention to where I have my descendant and ascendant. I just saw this here and thought this was my ascendant with my sun in Gemini. Oops, where are we? I think I'm right there, aren't I? Yeah, so both got the Gemini signs. So I've been saying I'm a Gemini rising, Gemini sun with my moon, there it is, in Virgo, which is correct. That one's correct. My sun sign is correct. My ascendant, however, my rising, is Sagittarius. It's not. I just completely, because of this way that I've had it orientated, so I did go back and rephotograph it this way up. And here, look, it makes perfect sense then, doesn't it? There's my ascending Sagittarius, and around it comes. What doesn't make very much sense on this one for me is how the houses are split, because they're not split equally. So again, here we go. So the houses. So first house, it kind of goes with that line, Sagittarius. Second house, Capricorn. Third house, Pisces. Nothing in Aquarius. And then we come, is that right? Fourth house, Taurus. Fourth house is Aries. Fifth house is Taurus. Sixth house, Gemini. And we've got Cancer. Nothing in Leo, so Leo's the other one that's missing. Then we're in Virgo. We've got we're 10th house in Libra, 11th house in Scorpio, 12th house in Scorpio. So how about that? So that's kind of how it goes around, and you can see I don't have a lot of planets either. So that was something I was doing, and then I was on a page earlier, kind of rechecking all of this out, because as you do, you get lost, don't you? And of course it hasn't. Of course it hasn't saved. I mean, that would just be too much, too easy. you know when you want it to save with your chart. There we go. So it's the I was on astrocafe astrology.com, and they gave me this free chart here, and it just reconfirms everything that I already had, but it gave me a bit more information here about what's going on in this chart, just to look at. So I think it made it a bit simpler for me to find, you know, where Pluto was, where Uranus is. Sorry, Uranus. Apparently that's how it's pronounced nowadays for the grown-ups in the house, not me. So Uranus is where it's always been. So we got that there. So that is what I was looking at a bit earlier, which is why I'm kind of all over the place with what I'm talking about, because I'm, as I say, right now, let's treat today as day one for me. So that's where I'm at. But if you've got any thoughts about then how this would work and what I should be doing with it, drop it in the comments below. Really would love to hear. And then if it teaches me anything, I can again teach that out to people as per this spread here for July. So maybe July is when you're going to get to see it. Who knows? Don't hold me to it. Okay, until the next one, much love and light. Take care. Bye-bye.